as Walter makes a run ahead of him. Bergkamp suddenly changed pace through the centre. It's Bergkamp! That's magnificent! The move, and then this, which left Dabby's ass totally stranded.
You know, sometimes I give up with my fat fingers in the internet. Hello and welcome to ABW Preview, where I will not be ready because I forgot to cut and paste the last thing saying we were live, and I'm having to go and get it again. It just us talking about the resurrection of Chris, as it is known. So I thought, we are live. There you go. Well, hopefully someone will get that and see it. I copied it this time, so when I go it the second time, it's going to be ready. With me this afternoon, this morning, wherever you are, it's Josh, the man who had he's alive. He's back with COVID for 15 days. Did you get a medal for it?
No, all I've got is just a pile full of snotty tissues that I've been crafting into an effigy of Chris to remember what he looks like.
Oh dear, he was nearly on the other day, but then an emergency happened, and they wanted him, and he couldn't say no, poor boy. And we've not heard from him since. He's busy retweeting shit about kittens and sharks. Two things, boys and girls, you don't mix up, because I like one and dislike the other, but don't tell the other I dislike it, because they'll come and murder me. Right, Nick is there saying hurry up, because I told Josh a few days ago that it was going to be a 2:30, but it's an hour and a half before kick-off, and I couldn't count. Maybe I was befuddled a little bit.
You even put the time zone in as well. You even went BST to know explicitly this was not going to be at GMT. So I made sure I was ready.
Once I start getting deep in the details, you know to ignore it. I mean, you lot ignore it anyway, as far as any of you fucking turned up. Rudy is there. Good afternoon, all. And Rudy says, Spurs lead and Leicester look clueless. Means we can't afford to lose points today. We can, because we're still going to go there and beat them. Phil Macker has put his life story in there. I had an offer of a ticket in the home end. Passed as West Ham fans can be right cunts. He's got around the swear filter. Very good. To the away fans and saw them get Oz fans thrown out of an England friendly. Gave it up to half of that was pointless. Thank you. And who else have we got there? Oh, Si is there. Hello, Si. Mr. Boblex is there. He's milking the emoticons. And I think there's another one. There we go. There's more emoticons. Pete Geary, I haven't seen you for a while, Pete. I thought you died. We had a memorial for you. You missed it. It was a lovely do. It was Lacazette and chocolate minstrels for everybody. Lovely. Right, Josh, the game coming up today. What have you got?
I just said hello.
Oh, all right, hello.
I was being polite.
Let's have a look at our games against West Ham, all competitions. We've won 70. We've drawn 40. We've lost 35. Now, my calculations, that's 145 games. So we've won just under half of them, and they've won just under a quarter-ish. Giving it ish. First ever game against West Ham was Woolwich Arsenal v West Ham. We drew 1-1 in the FA Cup, 13th of Jan 1906. Do you remember that game well?
I was there. I remember it like yesterday. But please tell me about the details. Remind me. Reminisce.
Were you there with El Presidente? Because he's been an Arsenal. It was at the Manor Ground, Pumpster. There was 18,000 people there. We scored with John Sharp penalty, and that's it. Apparently, they only had 10 players. They had one called James Thomas Alfred Blackburn. That sounds like the kind of name that Stokes would give his kid. Yeah, something long. And other than that, I don't know. Let's have a look at some games we might. Well, I don't remember because I never remember the games. Our last 3 Premier League games away at West Ham. First one, 21st of March, 2021. It was back in the dark times for the human race. And I don't remember. I do vaguely remember them going 3-0 up and then a couple of own goals. And then Lacazette scored the equaliser in the 82nd minute. Do you remember anything about that game? Because I don't.
Was that the one where Odegaard turned up? I think that was one where he scrapped and he dragged us through by the scruff of the neck. That's what I remember from the last away game. I think that's
it looked quite a little bit tasty at the end. There was yellow cards for Antonio 88, Cresswell 89, and Lacazette 90. Lovely. Half that team now. Matt Ryan in goal. In Spain now, isn't he? Is he having a good time in Spain?
I think so. He was injured for a bit, and I think he's okay now.
Oh, well, half of that team are no longer with us, so they can all bugger off. The game before that, for some kind of relevance, was the 9th of December 2019. If only we knew what was coming then. Well, I knew what was coming. Alex Jones told me. So we went to West Ham. We beat them 3-1. They scored in the first half with Angelo.
Agbonna.
Oh, you will.
That one.
38th minute he scored, and then we were very worried because we had a back two of Socrates and Chambers. We had a midfield of Ozil, Torreira, and maybe Maitland-Niles, and we had a front three of Pepe, Aubameyang, and Martinelli. And they turned it on, scored in the 60th minute for Martinelli, then Pepe in the 66th, Aubameyang in the 69th. So 9 minutes of wonder there, and Freddie Ljungberg was that was his first game. I remember that.
I would say also 9 minutes of wonder. It's the title of your sex tape.
Talking of John, I wonder, we heard from him after he went out on the work to a strip joint last night, or was he?
Wow, he said it was a work somewhere at a strip joint, and we don't know what his new job is, or at least I don't know what his new job is yet.
I know.
He said there were lawyers. There were lawyers involved, and I'm sure he got plenty of tips down his. Yeah, I think I in that sentence there.
He said tips. People.
Tips.
And the third game, I always look back at 3. It was the 12th of January 2019. Oh, the before times, great days. Oh, we went there. We lost 1-0. Declan Rice scored in the 48th minute. They had Samir Nasri, the horse-faced lesbian, playing in midfield. And who did we have? We had a back three, it looked like, of Koscielny, Mustafi, and Socrates. And we had Maitland-Niles right back, Kolasinac left back, a midfield of Xhaka and Guendouzi, and Iwobi on the left, probably about on the right, and Aubameyang on the right, and Lacazette up front.
No one knows where Iwobi was at that point.
No one, running around going,
yeah.
In 2.5 years' time, I mostly expect to be playing in the Championship.
I mean, they've just scored. It's good for.
Who scored?
Richarlison scored for Everton.
Did he dive before, after, or during that goal?
I haven't seen it. I'm just seeing what the chat box is saying to us that Everton scored. I'm kind of disappointed. As much as I want Chelsea to lose, I also want Frank Lampard to be relegated.
That'd be a glorious day for the human race.
I can't wait. Such a fraud. He deserves it.
But talking about Turkish football, isn't we weren't? Trabzonspor, champions of the Turkish League. Fenerbahce second. Fuck Fenerbahce. Trabzonspor. That's the future. Their first title in 38 years, I think it was. They did win another one, but they didn't get it because they finished level on points with a team that cheated so much that the Turkish FA said, we're not entering you into European competition because you wouldn't be allowed to go in there. But they still didn't take the title off them, even though they're joint on points. No one cares. I'm moving on.
I don't care. Sorry.
So Pellegrini was the manager of... What's Pellegrini doing now as a manager? There's one of them One of them's in Spain, I think.
I think he is manager of... I want to say it's Betis, but I'm not sure.
It might well be Betis. Yes, it was Betis, because I remember looking the other day, because he's done quite well and won some things in some places. So very little to say about that game because we lost. So injuries, we have Kieran Tierney is obviously out for the season, and Partey, it looks like he might be back sooner, but you said there was a couple of late fitness tests.
Yeah, there was an update on Partey that said Arteta would be shocked if he came back this side of the season. But maybe there's a chance for him in the last game. But otherwise, we've got a late fitness test for Saka, who was a little bit injured. And the other one is for Tomiyasu, of whether or not he starts the game. So I think that gets into what potential lineups we can talk about as well.
So I said that lineup made him puke inside. We're going to look back at those teams in them days and go, what the holy fuck happened there? How was anybody meant to make a team out of that amount of unhappy shit? They didn't, did they?
No, that's why we got fired.
So Everton are beating Chelsea. That is hilarious.
It is funny, although I would like them to get relegated. But
I'd like them to get relegated. I mean, I'd feel sorry for Iwobi, but then again, it's his own fault. He'll just leave on a free transfer. They'll dump him out and he'll go somewhere. But just to let him get on with it. It's probably keep him happy. There we go. So what else was there to talk about? There I am. I nearly lost the tab that I was supposed to be in. Steph says he cried himself to sleep after. We don't talk about that, Steph. Phil is still telling us his life story. He won some money, won £1 million from 25p bet, I think.
Yeah.
Lovely. Saka ? Yes.
Guessing that's about the fitness test. Saka is, he is a question mark right now.
I think he'll play. He will. Kate is there. Hello, Kate.
Yeah. And Vasil is another paid up member of the Iwobi fan club. Wasted at Everton.
He's not even an Arsenal fan. He is I think he's in Romania, possibly. And he's one of Nick's lot, one of them evil crew from it. And Nick did tell me who Vasil supports. It's not Arsenal. Oh. Mr. Boblik says, I can see where we're going to Brentford. Behave yourself. Brentford are a half-decent team, especially if they manage to get Ericsson to stay next season.
Yeah, it's Mr. Boblik trying to fill the gap that's been left by the devastating news that Mino Raiola has officially now died.
Good. Fuck him.
Died.
Good.
Yeah. Hello, Ray.
As well. Oh, yes, Ray is there.
I
was waiting for you to do it.
Oh, we were both taking it. I'll do the click. Ray says hello to Danny, Josh, and the chat box. So everybody say hello to Ray. And Vasil's helped you. He said, yes, he's Romanian, and sadly, he is friends with Nick.
We all know how that
doesn't
goes.
say who he supports. I suppose there's one way to dig that out and just ask, just name any Bulgarian team, and he'll reply very quickly with which team he actually supports.
Yes, Bulgarian, no, Romanian.
Yeah, but they're not a fan of each other. We'll put it that way.
Yes. I thought you meant he was Bulgarian. No. Drago is Bulgarian. Oh, he supports Red Bull Leipzig. Oh, look who it is. Oh, it's the dirty stuff out.
Hey, Femi.
It's the Femstar.
Yeah, I did get it out. It's right here. The box. I found it. It's all packed away.
I have got 7 fucking iTunes, I bastards. 7 of the fuckers to go through. Look at that. A box full of Sean's shit. And they're trying to get anything off of these fucking things stuck during. I mean, one of them just stuck on the Apple logo. 7 of them. They're about 300 quid for all of those.
And Vasil's a Slav Bucharest fan.
Oh.
He says we don't know it though. So, but that's fine. I think they had.
They won the Europa Cup, the Europa League. No, the European Cup.
Champions League twice, didn't they?
Not the actual Champions League. I think it's the European Cup.
But it was before. And they had, I think they had a Brighton player on loan there. I think Tudor Baluta was there.
You jest.
He might not be. Yeah, might be. We'll see.
Femster says Chelsea want us to catch them. Let's help them today, please. And Arsenal went, that's what we definitely want that. And Rudy says Ben White could be out today. No pics of him in training yesterday. He's too busy. He's probably out.
He's probably too busy with his new girlfriend. That's that's what I've seen from his Instagram.
Lucky lady. Cherobi says, anyone catch the cringe-worthy reads from Minola's family? In infinite sorrow, we share the passing of the most caring and amazing football agent that was ever. Mina fought until the end with the same strength he put into negotiation table and defend our play. Fuck him and fuck all the shit that he did in football. But sad for the family. Because that was, yes. But it was a pile on the arse of the football world, him and that other shitbag. There's loads of them. They should all be fucking banned. Am I wrong to be a little bit not happy with him and what he did in football?
I don't know. I'm just going to sit on the fence and just say it's sad for some reason.
For them, it may be.
Yeah.
One less leech in football.
Yeah.
Spurs 2-0.
Why is Rudy even watching the game? Are you a proper fan? You should be watching that game. You should be watching Everton Chelsea.
Shouldn't be. Right, so we did the preview, the previous games, and we've done the injury thing. What else? I forgot what else I usually do. It's been so long since I've done one. What else do we talk about?
I think we do the lineup, don't we? But the lineup's not out yet. So.
The lineup is going to be another 12 minutes. I think it's because we started a little bit early.
Yeah. Oh, well, you didn't know what time you wanted to start.
No fucking idea what time I wanted to start. How do you think it's going to go? I mean, the lineup is going to be, Ramsdale in goal. It's probably going to be Tomiyasu at right back, and then at left back it's going to be Tavares. How do you feel about Tavares and Lokonga coming in and out like the maid's trolley full of biscuits?
I really like Nuno. I think everybody knows that I like Nuno. He is the second coming of Gael Clichy. Wild little player. I love him. And I think Tavares, if he does start, and Tomiyasu coming in will help him a lot better because we look a lot more stable when we've got a proper right back in place, rather than Cedric, who likes to, is good going forward, but not necessarily as good in defence. Doesn't kind of keep us as balanced. I would look forward to seeing him playing there. And the same with Sambi. I think if Sambi comes in, I'm imagining we still see Elneny starting because he's played so well.
That's a stroke of luck, wasn't it? He's not played since the AFCON, so he hasn't played a game in 2.5 months, something like that. And he comes straight in and has a performance like that.
Yeah, he did exactly the same for AFCON.
Yeah, but Mikel will go, cheers for being brilliant, getting man of the match, best player on the pitch, give it all. And I'm going to play Lokonga for half an hour and then take him off, or Tavares. And there's just those man management things that really wind people up about Arteta.
Yeah, I mean, I got one question to everybody in the chat box. Would you give Elneny a new contract? Because it's up in the summer as well.
I fucking would. Happy to stay there, happy to come in whenever you need it.
Yeah, but I mean,
and also, that's how I felt about Chambers as well. There's still no explanation of why we let Chambers go. It's not improved. It's not helped a single fucking thing. It's not like he was on an absolute fortune or anything, was it?
I think he just, he fancied the opportunity, and maybe seeing with what's happened with Jack, but free agents, it's pretty difficult for him to find clubs in the summer, especially if you're kind of a middling player. There's going to be no shortage of suitors for players like Rudiger or who's the other one, Mbappe. They're certainly going to have suitors as they come to the final year of their contract. I think Christensen's already signed for Barcelona. There's
the centre back's going to Barcelona.
Yeah.
I never rated him.
He's very good. He was very good in Bundesliga, and then they just kind of came back to Chelsea and sat on the bench.
Was he one of them permanent loan things for season after season?
Yeah, one of those. Then he just came back, sat there, leaving on a free with a Champions League medal. I'm sure he's not that bothered.
Talking of Jack Wilshere, this is how his recent run of games for Aarhus GF has gone. Losing 1-0, lost 2-1, lost 2-1, lost 2-0, drew 2-2, drew 0-0, drew 1-1, drew 1-1, lost 3-2, lost 3-2. I don't think he's been in a side yet that has won. And they're a team that in Denmark, they split the league after a certain point, and then they have the promotion bit or the championship bit and the relegation bit. They're currently bottom of the relegation bit, and it looks like they're going to get relegated to the Hovedfløden League, which is, as we all know, is the second division in Denmark. Having an absolute fucking... He's playing regularly, though, but I think he's surrounded by shit players.
I mean, that's been the story of his career, isn't it? That he hasn't been able to be fit for the rest of the team, rest of the time he's there.
What are we going to do? I can't help staring at your lovely chair. I do like a nice chair when I'm sitting in one. My sofa. Over the years, I've had 2 sofas in 25 years. I've only sat on one of them once ever. But I do like the look of them. Yours looks very comfy. Does it pop up? Feet?
No.
Is that a bit too common for the likes of you? You have a manservant that just gets on all fours and you put your feet on them.
Well, we won't talk into what my manservant does on all fours. But no, it would just be the coffee table that is used to keep your feet up. No, nothing comes out from underneath it.
Heathen. All right, so what are we doing with... do we want Elneny and Xhaka to start in central midfield?
I think so. Yeah, I think it makes sense to have that. And then, I think it's a front three of... I'd probably go with Odegaard. I'm assuming Saka passes his fitness test, Saka, and then Martinelli on the other side. We go with Nketiah up front still?
Have to. Yes, because he was unlucky not to score against Man United. Wonderful against Chelsea. But do you think that was maybe just a blip, or do you think he can do that again? Because if he can go and he's not playing for an Arsenal contract, because it's almost definitely going to fuck off and go. But he is playing to show everybody else what he can do. And after that Chelsea Man United display, Barcelona might be looking at him.
Oof, maybe. I mean, yeah, Chelsea was a great game for him, certainly. United, I think United looked so shit. Everybody looked good in that game. So, yeah, I think it is another chance for him to show what he can do. I agree with you. I don't think it should lead to a new contract for him. But you know what? We'll appreciate him and give him a nice slap on the backside as he leaves the training ground at the end of the season if he's got us into Champions League with the 4 or 5 goals that he's managed before the end of the season.
Yes, more than Lacazette. So on the left, are we going Martinelli or are we going Smith Rowe on the left?
I think Martinelli. I like Martinelli on that side. It gives us more options. I like Smith Rowe when we're kind of doing a bit of counter-attack late in the game. Yeah, that's what I'd go for.
Because our Femster put his finger on what has been happening with the Chelsea Man United games. He said, if we're chasing the game, we're shit. But if we score early, then we don't have a game, and that's when we can play free-flowing football. Well done, Fem. That was such a good point. I wonder if you can change the brand during a show. Where if I go from here? Oh, no, it's already on the right one. Here we go. That's Femi's wise words. I might as well put him up there. Look at him. He's a good-looking bastard, isn't he? Look, he's giving that. I know where the biscuits are. Wow. He's got a good point there, though, hasn't he? If we score early, and West Ham are not really having a great time of it, they had their Dawson was sent off in the last Premier League game, so he's banned for this game. That's brilliant. They are struggling for central defenders.
Yeah, Zuma went off injured against, it wasn't Roma. Who were they playing? Eintracht Frankfurt. I watched that game. They looked very easy to get through. No, very easy to play through.
Yeah, through the middle, wasn't it?
Yeah. But then that might be because, Rice and Souček were putting a lot into it. And maybe some of their positional discipline had dropped. I expect Moyes to have turned that around and them to be a bit more solid in this game, especially if those two play. I don't know if their lineup is out yet. Ours will be out in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think the whole thing comes out in 5 minutes because they're only 2-1 down. And you said something wise in the group, didn't you? You said, I hope there's enough in this game for them to worth playing for in the second leg. And exactly how it turned out. Down 2-1. Souček had a couple of chances. Antonio looked very quiet. Declan Rice just looked his usual brilliant self, but didn't have a great game. None of them had a really great game. Their goalkeeper, West Ham goalkeeper, was all right, but that was the bloke they got, Areola, on loan from PSG. He's their European player, and so it'd be Fabianski in goal, I think he's 37 now. Strange, little Fabianski, 37 or some number like that. So do you expect them to rest a lot of players because their season is all about the game on Thursday, isn't it?
Yeah, I expect there to be a few players that will be rotated out. I still probably expect Declan Rice to start. Antonio will probably start as well. Whether or not the main player I'd be worried about is what if Jarrod Bowen is playing, because he's been absolutely superb for them. But that's where they've got, I think, enough in their squad to kind of mix it up, do a bit of rotation. So we could see someone like Benrahma start for them, or Yarmolenko on that side instead of Bowen. But that'd be the main danger man that I'd be looking out for, because he has been absolutely superb.
Who has?
Jarrod Bowen.
He is
Hull's finest.
Is he Welsh?
No, it's from Hull.
Same thing. Don't like him. I didn't realise that he scored so many goals. I think he got 17 last season without looking it up. And he is it took a while because he's been at West Ham for quite a while now. It's taken a while to get into it, but I always thought he was a winger.
He is a winger, and he came up from the Championship. He plays on the right for them, or kind of sits centrally a little bit. He is very much worth a look at if you don't have a Bukayo Saka in your squad. Let's put it that way.
So he's not Welsh, but he is Northern. We've got a few Northern lads at the club. He'll fit right in. Yeah. But if West Ham, I hope West Ham do beat Eintracht and then get through to the final and smash Rangers. And Aaron Ramsey was injured for Rangers in the game midweek.
Sorry, cue my surprised face that Aaron Ramsey was injured.
In the Old Firm derby today, it finished 1-1. So I'm going to go and have a little looky poo and see if they managed to get.
One of them is 5 points clear.
Yeah, Celtic are. See if they got Ramsey off his deathbed. He didn't start the game, and was he an unused sub, or did he watch it from the sidelines on his hospital bed? No, he didn't play. You got to be gutted at that. Silly man, silly player, always bloody injured. It's only got 20 minutes to go in the Everton game. Looking at the league table, West Ham, their home record is they've won 9, drawn 4, lost 4, but they've scored 30 goals, which is one of the highest in the Premier League. We've only scored 28. Spurs have scored 31. Well, now they've scored 33. And our away record is 1-8, drew 1, lost 7, scored 24, conceded 25. Do we ignore all those stats now because we're back being brilliant again?
I think definitely we're back being brilliant. So I just can't be bothered being negative. And I think we know what we need to do in this game as well, don't we? We just basically almost like cut finals to go with the cliche until the end of the season. Just make sure we keep winning games. But yeah, I'm not too worried statistically about what West Ham have done and what we've done up until now. I've just got kind of trust in our players that they'll see it through.
Happy birthday to Alexandre Kleb, apparently. 120, I think he is today.
And still playing, presumably, in the Belarusian Premier League.
Yeah, he's that team there. He joined them 5 times in total. Every time they make it to the Champions League, they drag him back down. He thought he was getting away. There's no lineups yet. I should just keep refreshing the page because if it does, here we go. We have got the lineups right. Save image and save it to desktop. Look at me running this thing like a fucking pro.
Ooh.
And then go here, and then
see who West Ham have got. Got the West Ham lineup, and Jared Bowen starts. It's a strong team. Shall I read it out for you whilst you're looking? It is old Flappy Hansky in goal for West Ham. Back, I can't work out who would be in the back there, but it is Kufal, Zuma, Cresswell, then Fredericks, Rice, Noble, Fornals, Lanzini, Ben Rama, and Jared Bowen. So I think Bowen will play as a striker today. But it's a decent kind of group. Obviously, they've only got one real fit centre-back. I wonder if Cresswell's going to be playing centre-back as well. So it could be an opportunity for us. But sure, you're going to show us our lineup?
Yeah, because it didn't want to set this fucking StreamYard didn't want to recognise a MPG, or whatever it was. So go on, tell the wonderful people what we got.
What can I say is we were nearly bang on with it. It was just a case of Ben White wasn't there.
Josh, that's why we get paid the big bucks.
Exactly, that's why you had to drag me out of retirement. So Ramsdale in goal. Then we've got a back 4: Tomiyasu, Big Bob Holding, Gabriel, and Nuno Tavares. And then our midfield is, as I mentioned, El Neni, Xhaka, Saka, Odegaard, Martinelli, and Eddie Nketiah. And should we go through the bench as well? Because I think there's some interesting players on there. There's got Leno,
never heard of.
Cedric, Captain Kirk, Ron Swanson, Lokonga, Oulad Mahans, Smith Rowe, Pepe, and Lacazette. What do you reckon to that lineup, Danny?
It is because we know what we're talking about. It looks pretty good. It's encouraging to see that he is finally sticking with something that works with Xhaka and El Neni in the middle. Tavares has probably gone, oh God, I had plans to go down and meet my friends outside the front of McDonald's, but looks like he's going to be getting another game. Wondering how long. Should run a book on how long it is before he gets dragged off and replaced by someone else. And I think there has been some talk of Leno replacing Ramsdale because Ramsdale has been letting in a lot of goals recently, which is worrying. Not all down to his fault.
I would say, it's also down to our defence, not necessarily being as stable. I don't think we've helped with having Tavares and Cedric because they both instinctively don't want to necessarily defend as well as they want to attack. So it's kind of held us back a little bit. But
And we have seen that our defenders are far too easily drawn out of their central defensive positions. We saw that against Chelsea and against Man United, where they were massively out of position, and both times Tavares was in the middle going, "How do I defend again? I'm new to this, Mum. Someone let me know." And a couple of toe pokes later, they've scored goals past us. I've got the West Ham one up here.
There we go.
Yeah, that is. You're not too sure about who's going to be playing where. I mean, Ben Rama, if he was the bloke, the big money signing from Brentford, was it, that was going to meant to be coming in and redo their midfield, and has really kind of failed to do much there. But I mean, when Noble, I think this is Noble's possibly second or third start of the season. He's retiring at the end of the season.
He is. He started. I think he started last weekend as well. He's been coming in for when they want to rest one of Souček or Rice. So I expect at some point, if the game's gone one way or another, we'll get Rice will come off and Souček will come on, or maybe Kral. We'll see.
Nice seeing Antonio and Yarmolenko on the bench. Zuma is starting just for the lols, so expect loads of catcalls during the game, quite rightly. And Lanzini, I do like a Lanzini. I like a screamer from Lanzini against Spurs, but not
Don't
today.
we all?
Not today. 15 minutes to go in the Everton game. They're still beating Chelsea 1-0.
Oh.
If we win this, that means we will be on. Where's the points? There's 63 points. We'll only be 3 points behind Chelsea with about 500 goal difference. No, I don't want standings.
It is about 27.
If we've got 12 goals, they'll have 39 if it stays that way. Yeah. So we need to bet that 10 to 12 past West Ham. So looking at the lineups, how do you feel about how the game's going to go?
I expect us to be. I'd want us to be on the front foot, but I don't necessarily think it will be that. If we do exactly what Eintracht Frankfurt did, wrong way. If we do what Eintracht Frankfurt did, we could. Hello, how are you?
How do we? If Mikel's listening, and he probably is, what advice do you give him on how to break that side down?
I think it's a case of just hitting them hard with quick passing, because I think that's what Frankfurt did really and got through them really easily. Was just that quick interchange of passing that we know we've got in our locker. They didn't necessarily seem as keen to press as hard, and I imagine if they, especially some of those players, will be looking at they want to play next week or midweek. In that second leg for West Ham. So are they going to be putting in 100% into their press? I don't think so. But I think we can pass through this team. If we do start to struggle with that, then we've got Smith Rowe on the bench who can help go through that. But I'm looking at Martinelli to be targeting their makeshift defence and to be getting the goals for us.
So I'm just looking. If anything happens to either our centre-backs, then Tomiyasu will come and play in the centre and Cedric will come on. Always look to see what's going to happen in case of an emergency. But it's a bit weird about Ben White that there's been nothing said about him or his injury or anything like that.
Who knows? Who knows what he's got? But we'll kind of see. I've not seen anything about
Nick
Ben White.
Sent me the lineups. Cheers, Nick.
Arsenal have confirmed Benjamin White misses out today with a tight hamstring.
Oh, you suffer from those, didn't you? Calf. It's calves, isn't it, with the socks?
Maybe. Yes.
Yes. Well, you cut holes in them.
Socks. Yeah, I know. I rolled them down low, so I have them.
Do you?
Yeah.
Old
Smith
school.
Rowe or Grealish style. Yeah, with tiny little shin pads. That's what I do instead.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what people in the chat at home and on the bus, let us know what you think what your prediction for the game is going to go while we talk about ours, and I shall highlight it, and then we shall laugh at you later. Because the show after, at the moment, it's only me and Stan. So, if we have a good win, expect one of ABW to crawl out of their hole and go, "Oh, can I have a bit of glory hunting?" And if we lose, there'll nothing. It'll be tumbleweed.
Chris will be here.
Phil's straight in there. He's going 2-2. What are you going for?
Oh, what am I going for? Oh, Phil, this is so disappointing. 3-0 to the Arsenal.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Nick, straight away, put it the right way round as well. That's what I like to see. Yes, it's... I should think we should beat them because their minds are on other things. Yes, the Phil says, am I doing 3 pots today? Yes, I am. I'm doing the Sunday roast. which is food-based, not roast as in your mum as a horse, which the Americans do, which none of us like. Cherobi is going 3-1 the Arsenal. Craig Barlow is going 2-1 the Arsenal. Ray Anderson 3-1 the Arsenal. Mr. Boblex is 4-1 the Arsenal. I think we're getting a little bit carried away here. I'm going to say 2-1 the Arsenal. I'm going to say that they're going to, hopefully we're going to score early on. We're going to go full Femster, score early on and be dominating the game. And then they're going to score one later on. So it's going to be 2-0 for us for quite a while. I'm going to say we score first goal in the first half hour. That'd be lovely. And then cruise on. And I keep looking at the rest of the scores. Is it still...
I think it's still 1-0 and 1-0 and 2-0.
Oh, nice. 3-0 Spurs.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well.
Fucking arseholes. Doesn't matter, though, because all we have to do is win the rest of our games, the rest of the season, and then draw against them at their place, and we are champions. And we get our fourth place trophy back for the... I think when you win it for the 100th time, you get to keep it, and we're nearly at that. Yeah, so I'm going to go 2-1. I see why everybody else is getting a little bit carried away with lots of goals, but... It's West Ham. They've got decent players and they are concentrating on the semi-final second leg of the Europa League, but they are still going to be wanting to put up a decent display because some of those players will be wanting to show the manager what they can do if they do manage to get to the final, because they're not going to go, I'm not going to bother playing. We all know that, and if they do get to the final, Noble will be wheeled on with about a minute to go, the captain, last game of the season. What a way to end your career. Smashing Rangers 6-0 in the Europa League final. Oh, what a glorious day. So I hope they win that. It'd be lovely. Yeah, so you're going 2-0, did you say?
3-0. Same as Nick. But which makes me worried now because Nick's done exactly the same. So
Nick doesn't know what he's talking about unless it comes to manky games he's got off of eBay. Pete Carlson's gone 1-0 to the good guys. Painful, hard for no diggity, no doubt. It's going to be hard. They're not going to roll over. Plus, it's that they're in that shitty stadium that even their own fans don't like. Anything else before we close this up? We were doing 36 minutes.
I don't think there's anything else to say other than that you'll be on later with Stan and then on even later with Mike, and maybe Mike has not had a drink this time.
Oh, it'd be nice if he hadn't had a drink. I've told him from now, every time he asks to come on, I'm going to ask him how drunk, if he's been drinking. If he's been drinking, he will not step foot on here because he's a very, very bad man. Pete Geary's gone 2-1 the Arsenal. Oh. That's good. No one is doubting Mikel's El Caldeo's ability to... it's a good show they did this week. Thoughts, people, on that new Arsenal song, that bloody coffin march drone that they want to do, North London. It's Arsenal. We're not North London. We're fucking Arsenal. What do you think to it? Because apparently people like it. Well, I don't.
Oh, I'm not allowed to have my opinion on it. I was told that I'll be taken down for a hate crime. But yeah,
it's soppy bollocks.
Yeah, it is. It is toilet water of a song. I'd have to put it that way. But people like Coldplay, and they voted for the Nazis. You can't trust people.
Yeah, we'll have Coldplay coming out singing it at half time. But do you remember that song Highbury High by the bloke out of what was his? Come on, people! Last game at Highbury. There's a famous 60s singer, and he wrote a song just for the last game at Highbury called Highbury High. Fucking hell, that was another dirge that's never been heard ever since. Yes, people said they've heard worse. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Oh, but Phil's just told me I sound like an old man. It's too late, Phil. I already am.
Yes, already am. It is. So, will we be seeing you back on ABW before the big move on the 13th?
No. It's given me my
opportunity. Back in its box.
Yeah, and actually I need to take my monitor down as well. That's the only reason why I was back on today, is because my monitor was still up because I'd been working from home. I don't plan to be doing that for the next 2 weeks. So everything's put away. My desk will be away. That's it. No more Josh until the end of the season.
No, end of the season? We're not going to see you on again this season?
Who knows? Just got to keep them, give me a little surprise if I'm there. Emergency podcast. I'll do it from my phone, my iPad.
Stokes from the toilet. Stokes said he's working on an end of season Arsenal quiz.
He is. I look forward to that.
Cool. Remember back when people had enthusiasm at ABW? They were the days.
Yeah,
People
maybe.
used to turn up all the time. Not anymore.
No.
El Caldeo's fucking ruined it for everyone. Right, so people, thank you very much for watching. Josh is going 3-0 the Arsenal. I'm going 2-1 the Arsenal. It's going to be a good game. And hopefully Everton beat them. And then we can snatch third place, which is... which might... Oh, here we go. Pete Coulson, Roger Daltrey, sentimental twaddle it was. It was absolute bollocks. It was better than... It wasn't as bad. No, it was worse than the thing that we've got at the moment, which is I don't like. But again, I don't really like much stuff, so it's not really any surprise, is it? Mr. Boblex says it up the arse. Nick says Roger Doiletry. Craig says thanks. Right, Josh, thank you very much.
Thanks,
lovely to see you again. And yes, come on, the Arsenal, we can do this. Third place. Third is ours if we want it.
Let's try and get fourth first. That's what I'm going to say.
Sounds fair enough. Right.
Baby steps.
I'm going to end this broadcast. We will be back about 5-10 minutes after the game. Me, Stan, and maybe somebody else if they turn up. I don't know. And then later tonight, me and Mike will be talking bollocks for an hour, possibly. So thank you very much for joining us, Josh. You have been an absolute delight.
Thank you. As always, you have been great as well.
Yeah, like I always say, you are my favourite of all of them, but don't tell them.
I know that. It's because Carl's killing everybody with his diesel cars. He's killing the planet.
Murderer. Absolute murderer. Right, people, we'll see you later. Thank you very much. And up the Arsenal.
Up.